Okay, so we're going to work on another problem. We have multi-digits. We are going to do division, and we have a decimal inside of our dividend, the number that goes inside of the division house. So we already know that if we have a number, and we're going to set this up so we know our dividend goes in the house, our divisor goes outside, and our quotient will be on the top. And so we've learned that if there is a decimal in the dividend only, then we have to take that number and set it on top of the house. And so that way we can treat all of our numbers as whole numbers. So our decimal will be up here. And so now it looks like we have 780 divided by 14 instead of 7 8/10 divided by 14. All right, and then we just have to remember our steps when we do division. So we divide, we multiply, we subtract, we bring down, and then we repeat. And our answer is going to be in the nearest hundredth, okay? And so we know that our place value, we've already talked about it. We have our decimal in the middle, and to the left of the decimal, we have our ones, we have our tens, we have our hundreds, we have our thousands. Maybe I can put it there, thousands, and then so forth, so on. To the right of our decimal, we have our tenths, THS. We have our hundredths, which is THS as well. So everything to the right of the decimal has a THS to let us know that it is not a whole number. It is a part of a whole number. So we have our tenths, our hundredths, our thousands, and so forth, so on. All right, so they want it to the nearest hundredth, which tells us that we need to go 2 places is after the decimal is what we will have in our answer. But in order for us to know what happens to that second number, we will need to look at our right-hand man, which is the third digit. So we need to have 3 digits after the decimal to let us know what our final answer will be. All right, so we currently have 14, and we're trying to figure out how many groups of 14 are in 7. We can't do it. So we go to the next number. How many groups of 14 are inside of 78? And for that one, I believe it's maybe 5. Okay, so we'll put our 5 there, and 5, we're going to put our X here to let us know we're multiplying. 5 times 14 gives me, I think, 70. We're going to subtract those 2 numbers from each other. We're left with 8. And then we have to bring down the next number. And now we're going to repeat the process. So how many groups of 14 are inside of 80? And we find again that there's 5. Okay. And again, 5 times 14 is 70. So we're going to take away 70. We have 10 left. We only have 2 numbers after the decimal, but remember our answer, we need at least 3 numbers so that we can find out what our final answer is going to look like. So we only have 10, but we don't have any more numbers up here. So what we'll do is just add a 0, because that is what is behind here. All this imaginary stuff back here is all zeros. So I'm going to add a 0 and see what happens there. So we're going to bring this 0 down here. And how many groups of 14 are inside of 100? I'm going to calculate that really quickly. And there are 7 groups of 14 inside of 100. And so we have 7 times 14 gives me 98. So we have 98. We're going to subtract that, and we're left with 2. Now, we still have something remaining. And again, if we wanted to, we could just keep putting zeros and just repeating the process as many times as we'd like. But our answer needs to be in the nearest hundredth, which means that we only needed 3 places after the decimal to determine what happens. So we have our decimal, which lets us know that everything to the right of it is a part of a whole. And we start with our tenths, our hundredths, and our thousandths. And so we only need 2 digits in our answer, but we need this digit that is next to this 5 to tell us what happens to this hundredths place. So we see that it is higher than 5, which means that our 5 will become a 6. So our answer is 0.56 when we round it to the nearest hundredth. Okay? I hope that helps you. Thanks for watching.